is an iconic songbird whose voice has graced the charts for decades and so angelic it could make the heavens weep. You might know her for the ultimate feel-good dancing in your room, teen movie moment anthem from Footloose, Let's Hear It for the Boy. If you were thinking what we are thinking, you're right. She's none other than Deniece Williams. This woman has lived a music life, from singing backup for Stevie Wonder to dropping R&B hits, from becoming a Grammy-winning legend to switching to gospel domination. And oh, Deniece Williams had range, literally, a 4-octave vocal range that could rival the Mariahs and Whitneys of the world. So why don't we hear her name as often as the other legends? Was it label drama? Politics? Did the industry do her dirty? Or did she simply walk away from the spotlight on her own terms? And what has she been up to since ruling the charts? So grab your snack and let's get into the rise, reign, and underrated legacy of the one and only Deniece Williams. Born June Deniece Chandler on June 3rd, 1950, in Gary, Indiana, United States. Yep, the same hometown as the Jacksons. She was the eldest of 4 kids and has been singing in the church since childhood. Her dad, Lee Chandler, worked as a security guard, and her mom, Alma, was a licensed practical nurse. Deniece Williams thought she was headed for a life in medicine. She enrolled at Morgan State University in Baltimore, dreaming of becoming a registered nurse and anesthetist. But let's just say college life wasn't giving what it needed to give. After a year and a half, she was out of there. And in her own words, you have to be a good student to be in college. And I wasn't. At least, she was honest. She traded textbooks for hit records, and that's how her music history began. She didn't waste any time. She found her true calling while still in school, singing at a club called Casino Royal as a part-time gig. And let's just say, she ate that up. It was a lot of fun, she said. And during that time, she was grinding, working at a telephone company, and even as a ward clerk at Chicago Mercy Hospital. Talk about hustle energy. Little did she know, she was on the verge of leaving all that behind for music superstardom. Back in the late 1960s, she was out here grinding under the name Deniece Chandler, recording for the Toddlin Town group of labels. One of her early tracks, I'm Walking Away, dropped on Toddlin's subsidiary, Lock Records, and get this, it became a beloved gem in England's northern soul scene. Who knew she was low-key an international sensation before she even popped off? But wait, there's more. In 1969, she had a short but sweet stint with Patty Hamilton's group, The Lovelights, and even led vocals on I'm Not Like the Others, which was later released in 1999. Can you imagine sitting on a hidden gem for 3 decades? Before Deniece Williams was out here slaying the charts, she was dealing with some serious side-eye from her own church community when she decided to pursue secular music. The church folks were not having it. They shut her out of choir activities and even from the church. And let's be real, that had to sting for someone who grew up finding peace in gospel music. But don't worry, she wasn't completely alone. A few real ones had her back and told her to keep pushing. And thank goodness she did, because look at her now. But wait, it gets even juicier. Deniece had a cousin working for Stevie Wonder, and one day they casually played her song for him. And guess what? Stevie was obsessed. He was so impressed that in 1971, he invited her to audition for Wonderlove, his iconic backup group. Like, that's a divine upgrade. And of course, she crushed that audition and landed the gig. She ended up touring with Stevie for 4 years. But that's not all. She soaked up wisdom from not just Stevie, but also legendary producer Maurice White, from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now that's a major front row education from the greats, and trust me, she was about to take over. Deniece Williams left Stevie Wonder's Wonderlove in 1975 to go solo. She broke out swinging like a true queen. Sis said, "It's my time to shine," and went solo in the biggest way possible. First stop, signing a major record deal with Columbia Records and Kalimba Productions, owned by Maurice White and Charles Stepney. And they did not come to play when they worked on her debut album, This Is Deniece. By August 1976, the album dropped, and it took off. The album shot up to number 3 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart, and even cracked the Billboard 200 at number 33. And get this, it didn't just slay the charts, it went gold in the US and silver in the UK. Talk about a global takeover. Deniece was serving them left and right. The single, Free? Oh, that song was a smash and an evergreen classic, hitting number 1 in the UK, number 2 on the R&B charts, and number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. And if that wasn't enough, that's what friends are for. Climbed to number 8 on the UK singles chart. She was out here collecting hits, plaques, and fans like it was nothing. Deniece didn't just go solo, she came for the crown. And this was just the beginning. Deniece Williams came back in October 1977 with her sophomore album, album, Songbird. And let me tell you, this album was giving vocals, range, and soul. While it landed at number 23 on the Billboard Top Soul Albums chart, it wasn't just the fans who were obsessed. Even the New York Times had to admit that Deniece was that girl. John Rockwell praised the album for its sophisticated genre-blending brilliance and called Deniece's voice virtuosically diverse because she could sing anything and make it sound flawless. Then, in 1978, Deniece linked up with the legendary Johnny Mathis for a duet that had the whole world swooning. Too much, too little, too late. And that song didn't just chart. It skyrocketed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, Hot Soul Songs, and Adult Contemporary Songs charts. Talk about a chart-topping queen. Fast forward to 1979, and she wasn't done yet. Deniece dropped her 4th studio album, When Love Comes Calling, and gave us yet another number 1 hit, I've Got the Next Dance, which dominated the Billboard Dance Club Play Chart. Disco baddies, stand up. But let's be real, her biggest moment came in 1984 with her album, Let's Hear It for the Boy. The song was an instant classic, topping the Billboard Hot 100, Hot Soul Songs, and Dance Club Play Charts. And it didn't stop there. It went platinum in the US, gold in Canada, and gold in the UK. Oh, and let's not forget, it was the ultimate hype song on the Footloose movie soundtrack. Iconic. From soul to disco to pure pop domination, Deniece Williams was unstoppable. And trust me, the story doesn't stop here. While the industry was trying to keep her in the pop and R&B lane, she had something else in mind. Gospel. Deniece said, "Hold up, God's calling." In 1986, she dropped her first gospel studio album, So Glad I Know, on Sparrow Records. And let's just say, God's plan was working, because the album soared to number 6 on the Billboard Top Christian Albums chart, proving that Deniece could dominate any genre. And guess what? The awards started rolling in. They say her powerful duet with Sandy Patty won her a Grammy for Best Gospel Vocal Performance by a duo or group, choir or chorus. But she wasn't done. Deniece went ahead and snatched another Grammy for Best Soul Gospel Performance, Female, with her soul-stirring rendition of I Surrender All. Who else can switch from pop princess to gospel queen like that? Deniece Williams did what needed to be done. But then, things got a little shady. The music industry loves a marketable artist, but the minute you start switching genres or making music that doesn't fit their formula, they stop pushing you. Even though she had the voice of an angel, label politics, and the changing music industry made it tough to stay at the top. Plus, when R&B shifted towards New Jack Swing in the 90s, her soft, angelic sound wasn't what labels were pushing anymore. A true case of the industry did her dirty. She wasn't about to play the game, and you know how that goes. So where has she been after ruling the charts? Deniece didn't fade away. She has been out here still making moves and proving that legends never fade and inspiring generations of artists. In April 2007, she dropped another studio album, Love, Deniece Style, and of course, it made waves, hitting number 41 on the Billboard R&B Hip Hop Albums chart. But Deniece wasn't stopping there. She teamed up with Wanda Vaughn of The Emotions and Sheree Brown to release the gospel-infused single Grateful the Rededication, which climbed to number 40 on the Billboard Adult R&B Songs chart. And let's talk about iconic moments. On June 27, 2010, she graced the BET Awards stage to perform her classic Silly with none other than Monica, a whole queen-on-queen moment. Then in June 2011, she got her flowers when she was featured on TV One's Unsung, the legendary docuseries that tells the real stories behind music's greatest artists. But wait, Deniece wasn't done giving us gems. In 2020, she blessed us with a new single, When You Love Somebody, and followed it up in 2021 with a fresh EP titled Gemini. And guess what? That same year, she made history as one of the first ever inductees into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame. Whew, a living legend. And let's not forget Jamaica showing her love. On May 16th, 2023, she was honored with the keys to the city of Kingston, because when you're that girl, the world recognizes. Williams also presented her own BBC radio show in Great Britain, showcasing her gospel and inspirational music. Oh, you know we gotta talk about Deniece Williams' love life, because she has had her fair share of romance and drama. So, Deniece has been married 3 times and is the proud mama of 4 boys. Her first husband, none other than her middle school sweetheart, Kendrick Williams. Oh, cute, right? The two tied the knot in 1971, and she even kept his last name after the divorce. They had 2 sons, Kendrick Jr. and Kevin, but by 1975, they called it quits. Right after that, Deniece packed her bags and hopped over to California to to chase her dreams. Then came actor and minister Christopher Joy. The two said "I do" in May 1981, but phew, that flame burned out fast. By August 1982, they were already separated, and the divorce was finalized later that year. Sis was out of there. And then, in 1986, Deniece married Brad Westering, and this time she had two more sons, Forrest and Logan. But after 7 years, the relationship ran its course, and by 1993, they went their separate ways. So yeah, Deniece has had her fair share of love and heartbreak, but through it all, she's kept it moving, raising 4 amazing sons and staying that girl in the music industry. Deniece Williams is now 74 years old and is a legend who deserves way more recognition. Her journey from a small-town gospel singer to a Grammy-winning superstar is nothing short of amazing. She's got the voice of an angel, the hits, the Grammys, and the influence, and she did it all while staying true to herself, despite challenges. Deniece currently has a YouTube channel where she talks music and shares inspirational messages. She's also written a book, Bringing Out the Queen in You, truly inspirational. She also has something for the kids. With a net worth estimated at around $3 million, Deniece Williams is still that girl when it comes to vocal runs and airy high notes. She's been sampled by hip-hop artists, still performs, and remains one of the most respected vocalists of all time. And let's be real, her influence is all over today's music. She's a true icon in the music world.